Hey there, Wastelanders, it's Brother Mike, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to be asking one question, and that is, will there be a second battle for New Vegas? But wait, a second battle for New Vegas? There was a first battle for New Vegas? So, first to go over this theory, let's set the picture right after the ending of Fallout New Vegas. And in this light, we're going to be looking at it as if Mr. House or Yes Man won. Especially because after Fallout Season 2, that seems to be one of the most likely outcomes to the battle, the second battle of Hoover Dam. And after this, the NCR are pushed out with General Oliver saying that they will be back. The president isn't going to let this slide. This was his passion project, his whole focus for his presidency, and he's not just going to let it slip, especially after how many people and resources they've lost and have put in to taking over the Mojave, and as well as the Legion still having a majority of their forces back in Arizona and back in all the areas that they have conquered. And so let's set the stage. Yes Man or Mr. House start to rebuild, or in this case, we're going to be going with Yes Man. It seems most likely that Mr. House got killed in some way, and Yes Man, when initializing and updating himself with this personality, was actually a Mr. House backup. This is a theory I've been spouting since literally my very first video in this channel. So if you want to see that, it's right here. But a short version, Mr. House dies, Yes Man takes over, says he's going to upgrade himself with a personality, and that personality is actually Mr. House's personality that he copied. Now, how does he have this? Well, talking to Raoul, there's a whole scandal with his two favorite girls where he copies their brains, and we can find those two favorite girls in the Lucky 38. So there's that theory. But to go on from that, Yes Man is still updating himself, and Mr. House is not fully back online. Yet the Securitrons are still taking out their task, which is protecting the Strip. But the NCR and the Legion are both planning attacks. Maybe the NCR starts to send soldiers towards the Strip to try and take it over. Now, where does this come from, Brother Mike? Well, in the end credits scene of Season 1's finale, we see a zoom out of the Strip where we obviously see some battle had been taken place. And what do I think happened? I think the NCR kept relentlessly attacking the Strip. They wanted to dwindle down Mr. House's forces. Now, these forces, as are shown in Fallout Season 2, were upgraded to Mark II, so this was not an easy task. But while that was going on, the Legion planned an attack on the dam. Now, why do you say the dam? Because when we see New Vegas, when we enter it in Fallout Season 2, there's no power. It's running on very minimal power. And on top of that, Mr. House slash the Yes Man, but Mr. House's backup, is offline. Doesn't have enough sufficient power to come back online and take over the Lucky 38. Just like before when he had to force himself into a coma because the Lucky 38's reactor was not built to withstand the end of the world, because at that point Mr. House thought he would have cold fusion, just like we learned in the show. And so Vegas goes dark. The Securitrons still roam, but they no longer have the ability to repair themselves. With the NCR repeatedly attacking, maybe they fully exhaust their resources in Camp McCarran and set up another stage post, maybe where the outpost is with the statues, perchance. And the Legion come in and take out what is left of Camp McCarran. Hence why we see Camp McCarran destroyed. And it ends with all-out chaos. Vertibirds flying, NCR troopers shooting into the Strip, the residents of the Strip fleeing into Freeside, into the Mojave, and with all of that commotion, it lures in the Deathclaws just a few miles away at Quarry Junction. Just like what we heard, they moved in, and what would lead them to do that? Maybe the courier took out what was there, and the Deathclaws that weren't there decided to move into the Strip. Now, it is said that that is the Enclave that did that, but I have a feeling the Enclave kind of just set Deathclaws out near the Strip, guessing that they would attack the Strip, and they settled in Quarry Junction. But now Quarry Junction may be removed, or maybe because of all the commotion with the vertibirds and the missiles from the Mark II Securitrons that they were drawn in, and Vegas is left empty. They're able to board up Freeside, but all of the NCR assets are used up, and they get a call. Shady Sands has been destroyed. Morale is to a low. Soldiers start deserting, and those who don't join the lady that we meet in Fallout Season 2. I can't remember her name because she played no part in the season at all. But that is the first battle for New Vegas. That's my theory of kind of what happened. And that hole in the wall was maybe turned into a entrance at some point by the strip goers trying to keep the strip alive until maybe the death claws moved in. The new entrance is a little bit weird because we don't have an entrance that just goes straight out into the wasteland from the game, so I'm not going to be talking about it because I really hate that part. That's my least favorite part of the show. If anyone watches my previous videos, it's the one thing I complain about is where's this come from? We need info, but that's my take on what happens. And so a second battle is clearly upon us. We leave season 2 with 40 troops, a bunch of Freesiders, and potentially Mr. House and his army back on, and thousands of legionaries, I mind you. Thousands. Soon, when we do our season 2 watch through, I will go through and try and count as many as I can in that formation, or a rough estimate, because there are thousands heading to them now, which doesn't make sense because there was only maybe a couple hundred of them at those 2 camps. But enough of that. Obviously, a second battle is coming, and it was very apparent that a first battle happened. It was hinted on, even in Fallout Shelter, it was hinted on that something was going on there. And with this new season that they came out with, which is literally called The House Always Wins, it's literally NCR Rangers and House and them going up against Caesar's Legion. That's literally in the photo. Like in the screenshot photo. I don't know about the quest. I don't play into it that much. I'll have spurts here and there, but I'll look into it. I'm not 100% sure on how lore accurate or if it has anything to do with the lore, but it's very clear that they're playing off of this. So what do I think is going to happen in this second battle for New Vegas? I think Mr. House and the NCR are going to team up against the Legion, maybe with the help of super mutants in some way. They were hinted at. They were saying a war was coming, but I don't think they were talking about the NCR versus, well, kind of Vegas versus the Caesar's Legion. I think he was talking about with the Enclave trying to take over the Waste, take over what was America. But we're going to see a battle go down. We see in that final end credit that there's already been barricades set up, and there's already NCR troopers being hung up. Now, I don't think the NCR has enough men with them, as we see it, to even take on a quarter of this Legion force. So they're going to need help. And who are the 2 people kind of, I wouldn't say responsible, but very connected to this? They're sitting in his penthouse. And I bet he's going to hear them talk about what's coming. And that's where Mr. House is going to employ Lucy and Maximus to help him, maybe smooth things out between the NCR for a while so they can work together and push off this impending threat. Now, I hope we get to see Securitrons. I would love to see Securitrons and the NCR team up to go against Caesar's Legion. Now, do I think this will end with the NCR and Mr. House being on good terms? No. If anything, I see Mr. House in some way or another pushing them out again, especially because he knew they wanted Vegas. And even in this weaker state, he may try and take advantage of them once again, like he did before. The impending threat of Caesar's Legion coming in, he can use once again. And I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, because every outcome I can think of, which I have 3 big outcomes. 1, the Legion wins, and they take over Vegas as their new Rome, and finally start something that I've kind of been infatuating over, which is their renaissance. I don't like this, especially with the way that this new Legion is depicted. I don't think they're strong enough, noble enough, or have a good enough leader to do so. The second option, the NCR and Mr. House are going to team up to go against the Legion. And they may win, they may not, but it will end with maybe good relations. Or Mr. House is going to leave them out to dry. And he's going to let them roll through, or then potentially he may activate his Securitrons to take over or go up against the rest of the Legionaries. But I don't know. There's a lot of options here. We could even see the Brotherhood roll in trying to get Cold Fusion back. And that could either be Maxons, or we could see them try and stroll in and take it with this new Liberty Prime Alpha. I hope they don't build another Liberty Prime, but it is a possibility. But yeah, let me know what you guys think are going to happen in this second battle of Vegas. It was very clear that there was a battle fought there before, and that it potentially could have been the NCR and the Legion attacking the Strip at the same time, trying to get in each other's ways, trying to take over the Lucky 38 in some way. But it's very clear it didn't work out. And I think Mr. House, the NCR, and Lucy and Maximus are going to have a big part in this next season. And are we going to see Vegas finally fall? Or are we going to see Mr. House maybe have to force himself to work with others to get what he wants? I don't know, it's all up in the air, but let me know what you guys think down below. And if you like this video, and this is your first time around here, why don't you consider subscribing, liking the video, and hyping it up? That would be lovely. If you guys like anything Fallout related, you should consider joining the Discord. It is in my About Me. I finally put up a permanent link. If not, say something in the comments. I feel like every time I make it permanent, it's not permanent. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video today. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. And with all of that being said, you don't forget, you are cared for, you are loved, and you stay safe out there, Wastelanders.